Hey everyone, Final here. Today, I'll be unboxing the new 11th edition launch set, Armageddon. From the first look, this box is really hefty. It comes in at almost 8.5 pounds. I didn't weigh Leviathan, but I think this box is pretty comparable. Just rolling it around a little bit, I don't hear any scattered bits. There is a good dent on the box though, looks like someone dropped it. Fingers crossed that nothing is broken inside. Taking a look at the back, there's a whole battle scene with all of the models included in the box. Now, this box contains the Operation Imperator book, the core rules, chapter approved mission deck, Dominatus campaign deck, 17 datasheet cards, and of course, a transfer sheet. Meanwhile, for the models, the Space Marines get 23 of them, a captain, chaplain, librarian, ancient, 10 intercessors, 5 Vanguard veterans, 3 Eradicators, and a Land Speeder. The Orcs, on the other hand, get 38, the War Boss, the Big Boss, Banner Knob, the Pain Boy and Grot Orderly, the Weird Boy, 20 Boys, 10 Gretchen, a War Track, and the Big Mech Docker Rig. But that's enough reading for now. Let's crack this box open. And there we are. Look at all of that plastic. I'm going to grab the bases first, just to show you how many models are in this box. I mean, look at all of these. When I saw that there were only 23 Space Marines, I thought that felt kind of low, but seeing all these bases made me realize that, yeah, there's a lot of models in here. Alright, for this first one, it looks like, yep, those are definitely Eradicators. There's the Ancient Banner, and I think that's the Chaplain. And I think that's it. Just 5 models on here. The models all look really cool, but I have a feeling these models are going to end up in one of those Honored or Heroes of the Chapter boxes sooner or later. If you want multiple of these models, I'd suggest grabbing a set while they're still cheap. I know that mold lines are part of the hobby, but I just wanted to take a look here. They don't seem to be that bad, almost non-existent on some parts. The power packs usually have the brunt of the mold lines, but I'm not really seeing any. There's some, but they're pretty small. Awesome. Hopefully all of the models are that way. Now this one is an Orc one, once I get it right side up. It looks like, I think it's the War Track. Yeah, they are the tracks. Not as complicated as I thought it would be. I haven't figured out how I would paint this as a subassembly yet, but at least it doesn't look that complicated. Once again, mold lines are pretty minimal, so this will end up being a really fun build. Next up we have, oh, that's definitely a Banner Knob. And it looks like there's another one. Oh, that's the Pain Boy and the Gretchen Orderly. Interesting. I'm looking forward to the Banner Knob. I'm not very good at it, but I love painting up banners. I'll have to see if I can do anything cool for the Orc one. Now it's a smaller one, but oh, this is the War Boss versus the Space Marine Captain Sprue. Let's take a look at the War Boss. The model is really cool, and they crammed a lot of detail onto these parts. I'm usually used to a Space Marine with an extra purity seal or two, so this is quite a change. Speaking of, let's take a look at the Captain. Right off the bat, I'm not very happy that part of the cape is already on the shoulder. I like to paint my capes separately, but it's hard to fill the seam after everything is painted up. Now here are the different head options. There's obviously the bare head, and the Mark 7 helmeted head. I'll probably go for that middle one. It just has Ultramarine written all over it. Now another small one, and oh yeah, this one's definitely the Weird Boy, no question about it. Very simple model, at least for the build. All of the details look like they're in the wide open, so I think it'll be a pretty easy project. Now this is definitely the Land Speeder. I never painted up any of the old ones, so I wasn't as hyped when this one was announced. It looks pretty cool though. Definitely easier than a Dreadnought. Now, when I saw GW's unboxing stream, I was really worried about how this thing would mount to the base. It looked like it was held together by a single plume of smoke. I'm not sure if they've reinforced it since then, but it doesn't look as bad up close. Next up we have the, oh, something just fell off. That's weird. Okay, I guess I was wrong. Something was broken after all. This looks like a part of the War Track fell off. I think I missed it before. Oh well. Anyway, for the sprue, these are the intercessors. Again, I wasn't too hyped about them. I already have a bunch of them built up. I'm hoping those Mark 7 bits spruce this up a little bit. I don't really see anything that stands out. I know there's a couple of Mark 7 helmets somewhere on here. Nope, that's a Primaris one. Primaris. Oh, there's one. And a bare head. I think there's actually 2 on here. I wish we had the option to fit all of them with Mark 7s. Hopefully in the multi-part release. Now, what do we have here? Okay, I see the Librarian. And, oh, Vanguard Veterans. The parts don't look too bad. But I'm still disappointed that we didn't get any Lightning Claws. Fingers crossed that we do in the multi-part release. Checking for mold lines and... yeah, still not too bad. Normally these jump packs are covered in them. For the Librarian, I love that rock, and I also love how it matches up with the Weird Boy. I don't think I've actually painted up any normal Librarians yet. I really hope this one's a lot easier than the Terminator Librarian. I enjoy painting heads separately, and for that one, I painted the head, assembled everything, and I had to mask off the head just to prime the model. It wasn't as easy as I would have liked. I'm hoping this one is better. Alright, now back to orcs, and I'm gonna guess that these are the boys. I know there's supposed to be 20 in all. I don't think all 20 are on here. There's really a lot of parts on here. I wonder if the boys have any kind of alternate builds. Normally we just get fixed builds and that's it, unless you start snipping parts. But I feel like there's too many parts on here for it to be monopose. Maybe the book will have something later. And is this one... oh, wait, is this the same as the last one? It looks very similar. Let me see. Oh yeah, they're the exact same. So each sprue has 10 boys and some number of Gretchen on there. I'm repeating myself a bit, but I really hope that these guys are customizable. Last but not least, I think this is the Daka rig. Yeah, it definitely is. Look at all of those parts. This one is substantially more complicated than the war track. If I had to hazard a guess, I would assume that all of this would make it to the individual release as is. Similar to the Dreadnought from Leviathan. Alright, and that's it for models. There's a little bit of something... oh, I think it's part of a sprue, not an actual part. Alright, that's fine. And of course the 3 big bases. So getting this open, there's the really nice Operation Imperator book. It's about the size of a codex, so it's not too shabby. I think that the whole book is supposed to be lore. Probably everyone fighting in Armageddon. There's all the different theaters. Where the... oh, that's awesome. They show all the other chapters that were on Armageddon as well. So in case you don't want to paint just the main ones. Yep, here's some more. And some more. That's really cool. I'll have to read through everything more closely later on. Alright, so this one is obviously the build book. All of the models are push fit, so I won't go through this one too in depth. I do want to see how customizable everything is though. Space Marines are more or less monopose. So are the orcs. Ooh, here we go. Looks like at least 2 poses for the boss knobs. And maybe 3 for the regular boys. And 2 for the Gretchen. That's really cool. It beats having 20 of the same models. For the core rule, oh wow. These are the core rules, but this book is tiny. For the last 2 editions, they had really big and heavy hardcover books. They were really a pain to carry around. This one will just fit right in my backpack. There's probably going to be some complaints that this book isn't as premium as the other ones, but it's definitely a lot easier to use. I wonder if the full release will have this one or the standard $50 hardcover. And these are the data cards. We've already seen these on Warcom, so no need to look at them in detail. And to be fair, the stats are probably already outdated. Now, for the Dominatus Datacards. Okay, that's a really big box. There's got to be a lot of cards in here. These are supposed to be for the randomized campaign system that they added. There's definitely a lot of cards in here. I really need to convince someone to play now. Finally, there's the chapter approved cards. Oh, punch tokens. I forgot about these. And of course, a lot more cards. Let's take a look at the transfers. These look really similar to the Leviathan transfer sheet. Except I don't think they had Crimson Fist on that one. Or any orcs, of course. I always love transfers. I'll definitely try and get a couple more of these online. And that's it. That's all there is to the Armageddon launch box. There's a lot of paper, and some really cool lore. As for the models, compared to the Leviathan box, there's a little bit less. The Leviathan box had 72 models, whereas the Armageddon box only has 61. Just keep in mind that the Leviathan box had a lot of Horde models. There's 20 boys in this box, similar to the 22 Termagants and Rippers. However, the Orc boys are a lot more detailed than the Termagants were. Do I think the Armageddon launch box is worth the money? If you want everything in the box, or if you can split one of the armies off with a friend, absolutely. If you're just interested in the models and not any of the books or cards, you might be better off waiting for some of the starter sets to come out later. The Orc half of the box is really great. A lot of these models got really great sculpts. The Space Marine half I think is geared more towards beginners, but it's quite an expensive box for a beginner to get, so they're kind of somewhat stuck in limbo. If you've seen my content before, you'll know that I really like Space Marines. But their half of the box didn't excite me as much as the upscaled Terminators did in Leviathan. Maybe they'll grow on me as I paint them up. If you are still on the fence about an Armageddon box, I hope that I helped you out with your decision. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.